As co-founder of Harmonix, our next guest is no stranger to music-based video games. Alex Rigopulos has created a game which can turn any Johnny PS2 player into a golden god of rock ownage. Alex, welcome to the show.
Thanks.
I have to say, some people have their Carmackian id Software idols. I wanted to whittle you a platform to stand on because Harmonix has pretty much changed, the way I play games and the way my friends play games. I mean, really, it means that much. And do you realize that? Do you realize that your company has done that to some gamers?
We get a lot of kind of foaming at the mouth fan mail from people.
Okay, good, good. I wish I was, an impressive 18-year-old girl, that could really be a good fangirl for you. But fair enough. You're a fan of music, it's safe to assume, right?
I am. I mean, I have a bit of a background in both music and games. I mean, games I've just been playing since I was 3, and my parents brought home a Magnavox Odyssey console. But I've been playing music since I was a kid. And I started the company in '95 with a co-founder, Aran Agozi, who is our chief technologist, and he's also a great musician. And basically, we've got dozens of people in the company who play in bands and rock bands and play music. So it's really, we've pulled together that kind of culture and merged it with gaming in the company.
And Frequency comes out, not a bad game by any stretch. It didn't have it for me. And then, what was the goal behind Frequency? What were you guys thinking when you released this? Was it more of a proof of concept for you guys, or? Well,
when we started the company, it had nothing to do with gaming. It was all about really trying to give people access to this kind of amazing, profound, primitive pleasure that comes from making music. And we did that for a few years in the late 90s before music games came onto the scene. And Frequency was our first stab at that. It really became apparent that gaming was the way we were going to try to bring this experience to a big market. We did that for the first time in Frequency, and Amplitude was really the first opportunity to kind of fully realize
Frequency
that.
was like a prison shank to the ribs, but Amplitude was a meat cleaver to the back of the neck. I mean, if you say it's your first stab, I mean, you got it right with Amplitude. It just clicked. I mean, what was the process with creating Amplitude? I mean, did you feel like that was it? Did you feel like you had made it when you hit Amplitude?
Actually, we felt like we were just getting started, and so we were really thrilled to have an opportunity to kind of take it to the next step with Guitar Hero.
Now, what were the challenges with regarding a game like Amplitude? Is it hard to get bands and other musicians and stuff and acts on board with this? Do they understand the concept of, hey, we want to take your song and let people play it in a game?
Well, a few artists are very precious and protective about their music. They don't like the idea of letting it out for their fans to tamper with.
I think Eddie Vedder's afraid of video games.
Yeah,
there's no Pearl Jam.
There's some artists like that, but a lot of artists actually get really excited about letting fans kind of get their hands on their music and actually experience it on a deeper level.
All right. Well, now you said it. It's come along, and I'm going to pull it up here. This is the pre-production. I think the buttons are swapped here, but this is the bad boy. Harmonix, Red Octane, you guys team up to create something. Tell me about the story behind this game, because I hear it's pretty crazy.
Yeah, well, we were approached by Red Octane sometime last winter. And I had a great meeting with their CEO, Kai Huang, where he came into the room and basically started preaching to me about how important music games were and how a big...
Did you kind of slide your resume across the desk and be like, hey, I know, I'm kind of into them myself?
Well, I mean, he and actually all of Red Octane were big fans of Amplitude. And it was funny listening to this speech, because this is the speech I usually have to give publishers. And actually, he just asked us, do you guys want to make a guitar game? And, hell yeah, we want to make a guitar game. It was easy, and so we were just off and running. And it was actually a great experience because they had a ton of hardware experience, so they took care of the guitar and did a great job with it.
Right.
And
I mean, this is an essential, because I think for some, and I've tried to convince and I've tried to evangelize people when it comes to Amplitude, but there's such a barrier to entry when it was just shoulder buttons on a DualShock. But now they got this peripheral in their hands. I mean, this really kind of blows away the barrier.
Yeah, well, that was a hard lesson we learned with Amplitude, which is that once people actually tried to play it, they got hopelessly addicted. But when they just first looked at it, it was just kind of foreign and perplexing. So with our next game, we really wanted to make something that when people just looked at it, they immediately understood what it was all about and wanted to try it. And Red Octane, it was so clear from the first meeting that we had a complete unity of vision about what we wanted this game to be. So they pretty much it was hands off, and they just said, go make the game you want to make, and it was a great experience.
And people will see the game. We're gonna play it in a little bit, because I'm going to challenge you in an axe battle. But I mean, it really does let you to perform these songs. And some are saying, well, there's been other guitar games in the past. There's Guitar Freaks. They let you play it. What's the big deal? But Guitar Hero to me felt like a completely different game.
Yeah, I mean, there are a bunch of kind of gameplay innovations in it, but I think the more important thing is that it's not just about the gameplay. It's about kind of the essence and spirit of the game, that this game was going to be all about kind of the insane glory of rock guitar playing. So everything from the song list to the visual design is all about just rocking, and that's kind of the essence that we try to project through this game.
And plus tilt sensor and a whammy bar.
Yeah, this is another way
can't-
Red Octane was great. We said, we need these things, and they said, they're going to be expensive. Do you really need them? And we said, yeah, we need them. And they
For
said,
the love of rock, give me a whammy.
Exactly. So
Well,
it worked out great in the end.
Thanks be to them for putting it in there. Now, I'd hate to do this to you since it is your baby, but do you mind if I just totally blow the doors off the studio and challenge you to an axe battle a little bit later?
Yeah, I mean, if you want to be made a bitch in front of all these people.
Oh! That's the gauntlet, my friends. Did you hear the thud? It's been thrown. Alex, thanks for coming on. We shall see who's made who's bitch. For more on Guitar Hero, visit GuitarHeroGame.com or consult your local library. Guitar Hero is out tomorrow. I've said it 1,000 times. I'll say it a few thousand more. Go and get one for yourself.